again, everybody. I'm Snapper Lancaster, welcoming you to another edition of the Central Alabama High School Sports Show. Got a busy program for you tonight. This is a busy time of the year, especially for the high school athletes of the spring seasons. There's a half a dozen sports, and all of them are getting heavily involved, either into the playoffs or coming up on them very quickly. We'll get to the baseball section real quick. Number one in 7A this week is Vestavia Hills, and we got quite a lot of other 7A teams ranked in the top 10. Their playoffs will start next week, or this coming week. Last weekend, the 6A class got started, and Pelham, Pinson Valley, Gardendale, Briarwood all won first round games, and Mortimer Jordan and Pleasant Grove in 5A advanced to the second round. So there's a lot of baseball action coming up, and the playoffs are right getting started for everybody. And so also we're talking about our high school soccer. We've got a high school soccer coach, one of the most successful on our program tonight. And talking about success, the high school soccer teams here in the Birmingham area, both boys and girls, have really had a lot of success this year as they head into the playoffs. Ranked number one in 7A is Vestavia. They're number two, I'm sorry. Hoover, Oak Mountain, Spain Park, and Mountain Brook all in the top 10 in the boys. In the girls, Oak Mountain's girls number one in the state. Vestavia Hills, Hewitt Trussville, Thompson, Mountain Brook, Spain Park, and Hoover all ranked in the top 10. In Class 6A, the Pelham boys are number three, the highest ranked team in the Birmingham area. Homewood and John Carroll in the top 10 as well. John Carroll girls, number one in the state right now. Briarwood, Chelsea, and Homewood also in the top 10. Folks, that's just a few of the teams. A lot more are going to be involved in playoffs this weekend. We're looking forward to it. Very busy night tonight. Two outstanding coaches and their athletes. We'll get right to that in just a moment. Don't you go away.
The community features a world-class resort and spa. The amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course. Miles of historic trails. And the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Good driver discount, multi-car discount, good student discount. Helping you save money on car insurance is just part of the service you get from State Farm agent Jack Traffinstead. Whether an accident or a simple question, Jack and his staff get you the help you need. And that's the value only a State Farm agent can provide. Call Jack Traffinstead today. 40 million drivers already know nobody gives more discounts to more drivers than State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors. A company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back in this first segment. As we talked about earlier, we got an outstanding baseball coach, Coach Sean Anderson, the Pelham Panthers. And Coach, good to see you again.
Thank you. Appreciate you
I
inviting us.
I know you are having a very successful run there at Pelham, and this season we had talked about it a little bit on the telephone. You've got a season that's you've probably got more senior than you've ever had before.
We do. This is the biggest class in the 23 years I've been at Pelham. It's the biggest senior class we've ever had. We got 13 kids that are seniors. Very talented group, very close group. They've been playing together since they're 4 or 5 years old, whether it be in the Helena community or Pelham community, and then when they came together at Pelham, and it's been a lot of fun.
Well, I know when we were talking just a moment ago, I didn't realize you'd been in the coaching industry as long as you had. Tell people that might be watching you for the first time your background, how you got into coaching and have worked your way into being the head coach there at Pelham.
Well, several years ago when I was coming out of college, I worked at Jeff Davis High School for 3 years, just as finishing up college and helping Bubba Lewis and then Sonny Van Deventer for 3 years down there. Then when I moved to Pelham, a guy that I played high school ball with got the job at Pelham High School, and he asked me to come be an assistant, and that was 20 years ago, something like that, 21 years ago. And then I've been through 3 head coaches, Craig George, Mike O'Berry, and Jeff Malden. And then when Jeff moved on to Hewitt Trustful, I took over the job. This is my 3rd year as a head coach. So,
well, I tell you what, you haven't missed a beat. It doesn't seem like your program has been an outstanding program since you've been the head coach there. Tell me a little bit about this team. I know it's senior laden, but we talk about 3 aspects in baseball. Of course, one of them is pitching, hitting, and defense. Talk about those aspects of this team.
Well, our pitching this year is the deepest we've had. We've got 5 or 6 guys that can really throw the ball. We've got 2 SEC pitchers, Sam Finnerty, that's a senior, is going to University of Alabama. Cole Whitman, that's a junior, that's going to Mississippi State. Connor Radcliffe is another senior going to Sanford. Tyler Wilburn is another senior going to Jacksonville State. Hunter Orr is a senior going to Marion Military Community College. And then Alex Weeks, who's our closer, we just got back off injury, is going to Marion Military also. He's a senior also. And then we've got some other guys, just some fill-in guys. I hope I didn't forget anybody. There's a bunch of them.
You're talking about your pitching staff like that. A team that is that talented in pitching, it's one that a coach has got to love because you're always in a ball game.
Right.
And you know the other aspects being hitting and defense. Defense is a lot along the same lines. They can help those pitchers out and get them out of jams sometimes. But from that aspect, go ahead into the hitting and defense because it sounds like your team has all of that.
Right. Well, and with that many seniors, that much experience, the hitting is really starting to click right now. We've got 2 seniors right now. Sam, I mentioned earlier, and Hunter Stovall, have been with us since they were freshmen and played varsity since they were freshmen. So they've got 4 years of varsity experience hitting, and they're swinging the bat really well for us right now. And then our other seniors are filling in the places that we need them to fill in, and things here at the end of the season, right when you want things to start clicking, are finally starting to click. And I don't know if there's any wood around here anywhere, but we're going to knock on it, make sure we stay there. Defensively, again, when you've got 9 seniors on the field at one time, you've got a lot of experience, a lot of defensive experience. And it's, like I said before, it's been a lot of fun with this group. They're a very loose group. And sometimes you got to rein them back in a little bit from having too much fun, but it's been a pleasure coaching them.
But you know one thing, and you just mentioned it lightly there, but I think it's more important than we realize. As much as we want to win, and believe me, that's why we play the game, and coaches and athletes are both judged by winning and losses. But the thing about it, in their sports that they're participating in, you want them to enjoy that experience as well. And a lot of times, I don't know if they mean to or not, it just works out that way. The coaches and even sometimes the athletes, I believe, put too much pressure on themselves. That takes a little of their joy out of it. And so how much more satisfying it's got to be for you as the head coach and these youngsters as players to enjoy that experience as well as being successful at it.
And that's one of the things that David White, who's my assistant, we talked about when we took over the program 3 years ago was it is high school, and there is a lot put on winning, but it is high school and they need to have a great experience in high school because a lot of the kids that we get in high school don't go on to play college baseball. That's their last time to play. And they need to have a good time doing it. And this group, as you'll see here in just a little bit when these 5 gentlemen come up, they have fun. They know how to have fun. They also know how to rein it in when it's time to get serious.
Well, another aspect of your job, and I like to throw this out to our viewers a lot because I think a lot of times they don't realize it. Your coaches, and I'm talking about you and your brotherhood there, that work with young athletes like these year in and year out, you're doing 2 things, and people don't realize it sometimes. Not only are you preparing them for that job on the baseball diamond, But with the experience they have under you, y'all are also preparing these young men and young ladies, whichever it might be, for life after high school.
Right.
And I think a lot of times we forget this, and in doing so, we forget how much you not only mean as a coach, but as a teacher as well, and as far as preparing kids. And I know that's a challenge that you accept and really enjoy, isn't it?
It is, and I hope, other than the baseball athletic side of it, I hope they have picked up a few things. We do a few things within our program that aren't athletic related. We do some charity stuff where we go up into Birmingham with a group called Urban Purpose, and we feed twice during the fall. We go and feed the homeless people. Our kids prepare the meals. They cook the hot dogs, cook the hamburgers, make the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, provide the water, and they go feed the homeless people. We also do a clothing and a toy drive for Oak Mountain Missions right in Pelham, right at Christmas time. And not just little kids' clothes, because that's the easiest thing, but when these guys have gently worn clothes for teenagers, because teenagers are a lot of the kids that don't get the stuff that the younger kids get. So hopefully some of that stuff that we do within our program carries on with them as they go on to college or even into their adult life and get their jobs and everything.
Well, Coach, we've talked about you and your team, and we've got just about a minute left in the interview. I like to ask coaches this, give them a chance to do this, and not everybody does it. I do. And that is, behind every good coach, there's a good coach's wife. And
That's
what I
right.
mean by that, I know you're a good family man, but it takes a special lady to be a coach's wife, doesn't it?
It does. It does. And I'm not going to go into it. We went through a lot this year within our family with my wife, and some medical stuff that she had. And these guys here, the 13 seniors we got, plus the other kids in the program, really got behind us and stood behind us and helped us out and got us through a really tough time that we're going through right now. Matter of fact, we go tomorrow morning to find out if we're free and clear of it, or she's free and clear of everything. I say we because I feel like I'm part of it too. But yeah, she's a tremendous woman, really.
Well,
is.
Coach, we wish the best for you and her and your family. And now we wish the best for you and your team, because you're hoping they peaked at the right time and playing their best baseball. Good luck, and never can tell. Another championship might be
I
out
hope
there.
so. That'd be nice.
We'll be right back talking with 5 gentlemen been so inspirational and important in the success of the Pelham team so far this year. We'll be right back.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say, I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Alan Gurdeau in Trussville today.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their number one objective. And folks, welcome back. As you can tell, I'm surrounded by some outstanding looking young athletes here. And all these gentlemen are seniors, baseball players for the Pelham baseball team. Sam Finnerty, senior, and you're a pitcher, third baseman, outfielder, right?
Yes, sir.
Hunter Stovall, a senior, catcher, infielder. And Justin Anderson, a senior, shortstop. Yes, folks, he has the same name as a coach. That means it's his son. So good to have you with us, Justin. Connor Ratcliffe, a senior pitcher, and Logan Brasher, that is a senior first baseman. Okay, guys, first of all, good to see all of y'all, and I know you ought to be a happy bunch because you're playing some good baseball right now. You're in the tournament. You've already won a series, which is important. And so with that thought in mind, Sam, going into this season, what did you expect, one, out of yourself? What were your goals there? And two, what was your goals for this year's team?
For myself, I just expected to help my team in every way I could and every way for us to get a state championship. And for this team, being so senior heavy and having so much experience, I really expected to make a good run.
Well, no, the one thing I got, I can't pass this up whenever I'm talking with pitchers. Are you a thrower or are you a pitcher? And the reason I ask that is a thrower is not afraid to throw high and inside. What would you say you are?
Well, I'd like to think of myself as a pitcher, but my other teammates, maybe not so much. But, I mean, I would say I was a pitcher.
But the thing about it, being able to throw inside for a pitcher, that's important.
It is.
For the simple reason, the pitcher and the hitter are both looking for an edge up there to play. And of course, when you're doing the pitching, you want you to have that edge, right?
Sir.
So if you feel the need to brush somebody back, you don't have a problem with that, do you?
Not at all.
Well,
No,
a
sir.
good pitcher don't. A thrower really doesn't, but a good pitcher doesn't either. Hunter, being a senior, I want to ask you, from your standpoint, one of the most important aspects of a team every season is this little word called chemistry. Now, chemistry is a strange thing. It can do positive things or negative things. And what I mean by that, positively, if you guys like each other, get along together, work together well, even police each other. Sometimes the players can do a better job policing themselves than the coach. Sometimes you put the coach in a tough position. It ain't so tough for y'all sometimes. But the other aspect is, as long as y'all like each other and work for the same goal, chemistry is a very positive thing. So talk about the chemistry of this year's team from your aspect.
Well, we have grown up playing against each other. We've known each other since we were little kids. So we've always been together and always known how to work with each other. And I mean, we know what makes each other mad. We know what makes each other happy. But we also, we play together really well. We come together as a team. I mean, there is times where we can get on to somebody and they snap back, but I mean, that's being competitive. And I wouldn't trade any of these guys for anything. It's a great group to be around.
Well, one thing that I wonder too, and I spoke to the coach just about it for a second, but from a player's aspect, you can tell me about you and your teammates. Do you think you guys are peaking, playing your best ball right here at tournament time?
I do. I believe everybody has fallen into their roles, and they're not, all about me ball right now.
Right.
I think everybody is understanding that there's a bigger picture out there, and we're all working toward that same picture now. So
well, good, and it sounds like that y'all are accomplishing what
Yes,
you hope to accomplish. And Justin, the normal question, this has got to be asked of you a lot of times, but how much more pressure is there on you to be good because your dad is a coach?
I don't think of it that way. I mean, I've grown up with him being a coach all my life, coaching at the high school, and I guess I've always been known as a coach's kid. So, I mean, I don't let it put too much pressure on me. I just go out and play the game.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, and I think I got this right, and guys, once again, I'm told you I sure ain't perfect. So if I say something that's not right, y'all correct me, but you're going to be going to Sanford to play
Yes,
ball,
sir.
right, baseball. And Sam, you're going to University of Alabama.
Yes, sir.
Success written all over your face already.
Yes, sir.
And Hunter going to Mississippi State,
Yes, sir.
another outstanding baseball school. Connor, now you know you're going to get this question because you're a pitcher as well. Are you a pitcher or a thrower?
I'm a pitcher.
You are?
Yes, sir.
What's your best pitch?
Fastball.
Okay, that makes it easier. That makes it easier to be a thrower too. Do you like to see guys digging in on you, to get that good stance?
Well, I like to think that I can spot it up on them and get by them, or I can break off a curveball there. Or even the change-ups came along this year. Throw that in there every now and then.
Well, I was going to say the more pitches you have, the more effective your best pitch is, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, from your aspect and your opinion too, being a senior, has this team surprised you that y'all are having the success you've had this year?
No, sir. I think that we had it in us. Even last year we had it in us. We just didn't come through at the end. We kind of fell off. But this year we kind of all put it together, and we're continuing to put it together and trying to get hot at the right time. So.
Logan, you're a senior as well, so that means you've experienced the championship team. Then last year, you had a good team, probably feel like that y'all left the playoffs, got knocked out sooner than you should have.
Yes, sir.
What were your goals personally and as a team as well? Did you think your teammates and you had a chance to be in the position you're in right now, especially since you guys are seniors and there's a lot of you there, a lot of positive leadership?
Yes, sir. I think that we had it in us to be in it this year. I know that we didn't do what we needed to last year, but us having the experience that we have, I think that we're where we need to be right now.
Well, you know, one thing about last year, you was coming off the championship year the year before. Did you sense that other teams were more ready to play y'all last year, since you were defending champions?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's good, and it puts added pressure on you, I think, but it's a positive thing because with success does come certain pressures, especially when you win championships, you automatically going to have that bullseye on your back the next year. So you know it's going to be hard, but not impossible. All right, this year, maybe that was taken off, but along with the experience y'all have, the outstanding senior leadership that you have, and you're playing your best ball at the right time, I got a feeling y'all think good things can happen, don't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, now guys, this is the first time I've ever met you as a group, and I want you to be as honest with me as you can, but this is a very important question. I want to know, are any of you guys, one, are you superstitious? Or is there something about you that maybe not everybody knows that you want to share with us tonight? And I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about. Maybe some of you guys love to sing in the shower, where it always sounds good, but it's not so good out of the shower. Or maybe some of you big old physical athletic specimens like to write poetry, and nobody would know. Now, you get the idea, and I got a feeling that's not going to be the answer for any of you. But what would that be, or if there's a superstition that you have, what would it be? And we'll start with you, Sam.
Well, I mean, pretty much all baseball players are superstitious. We're all kind of weird guys. But probably my biggest superstitious thing would be I don't wash my practice pants. I haven't washed them once all year.
You don't have many people around you in practice, do you?
No, sir.
Well, no, that's okay. I understand. And your coach might know this. A lot of you guys might not, and you might. But there was this basketball player many years ago, not that many, but Pistol Pete Maravich, that got famous for not washing his socks. But bless his heart, I wore socks like that too, because I thought if it helped him, maybe it helped me. So I understand that. Hunter, how about you?
Well, first of all, I do sing in the shower.
Do you?
I do.
Do you sing outside? Are you a pretty good singer?
I do, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well,
yes, but anyways, I wear the same socks, same stirrups, same sliders, same pants, same undershirt, everything on a game day. Especially same socks, sliders, and
Do you wash
stirrups.
Well, you guys aren't going to change anything as long as you're doing well, are you?
That's
from that standpoint, I mean, superstitions or practices can be good. You tell your friends or whatever, hey, I don't care how we smell, we're winning. Y'all come see us, right? and I say that playfully. Justin, how about you?
Well, before the game, we do our pregame, and me and Hunter always run out together and hit center field. And then running back, I always run beside Logan Brazier. And right when we get to where we're about to throw, we always cross. And that's something me and Logan have done since we were freshmen.
That's different.
Yeah, it's we did it first game freshman year and done it ever since.
Probably very confusing and having people scratching their heads, but it's normal for y'all, right? Okay, Connor, how about you?
But every inning, I have to go up there, pick the ball up with my glove, flip it up to my right hand, and then before the inning starts, I have to walk off the mound, take off my hat, then draw a cross on the back of the mound, then brush off the rubber, and then I get ready to pitch.
Boy, y'all's games take a while sometimes.
That's actually the shorter version of it. Coach Anderson had to get me to speed it up earlier in the season.
But you know what? As long as y'all are winning, I don't think he's going to change nothing, okay? How about you, Logan?
We're all pretty superstitious, but I guess what I do is every time we're in the field and when we come off the field, my gloves got to go in the same spot, and then my hat goes right on top of the glove a certain way, and then when I go to bat, I have to dust off the front line of the batter's box with my left foot every time before I hit.
I don't think I've heard this many superstitions from so many guys in my whole career. But I don't think I've met many guys that's been as successful as y'all have so far. All right, guys, last question, and time's running out. This is a very important question, seriously, too. To this point in your young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons? And we'll start with you, Sam.
It would have to be my parents. They've been there since day one, and they've done everything for me since I've started playing baseball in every aspect of life, not just baseball. And they've been a tremendous help in everything I've ever done.
Okay, Hunter, how about you?
Definitely the parents. I mean, you can't really ask much more than what a parent would do for you anyway, but parents in general, especially of these guys up here, they go above and beyond to help us be as successful as we possibly can be. So.
Okay. Justin, how about you?
Yeah, same with them. Parents, dad's always been a coach, taught me how to play baseball, and mom's always there to clean up the dirty pants after the game. So.
Good for you, Connor.
Parents as well. They're always there. Dad's been with you teaching baseball since I was 3 years old. Mom's always there to cook, give you food, and do laundry when you get done. So
good
definitely
for you.
The parents.
Logan.
I say parents as well, and my brother. My dad's always pushing me. My mom's always there to pick me up when I'm down, and my brother's always pushed me. He's 2 years older than me, and he also played at Pelham on the 6A state championship team. So he's always been there to help me out when I need it.
Well, guys, awfully nice to meet you. Good luck the rest of the season. Maybe another championship waits on you, okay?
So
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a quick break, folks. We'll be right back. Let's go. The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their #1 objective.
And this will be your premium right here.
Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say I combined home and auto with State Farm.
Saved $760.
Love this guy.
Okay, does it bother anybody else that the mime is talking? Freaky.
Bundle home and auto, and you could save $760.
That's 760 very good reasons to call Ted Townley in Homewood today.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven. A taste of heaven is always best. Now you know that you're blessed. Give your taste a whole new spin. Bring your friends and come on in. Take your taste to a different place. It's the taste of hamburger heaven.
And folks, welcome back. And as I promised before, we're doing a different sport in this second segment here. And of course, we've got Coach Rick Grammer, the longtime Vestavia Hills High School soccer coach. And Coach, first of all, good to see you. And
Glad to be here.
secondly, another outstanding season. You're ranked #2 in the state, which means we need to try just a little bit harder. Not much. But one thing that I talked with Coach about in particular, and I wanted to be very sure about this, I think, and I'm not going to put the numbers out because I don't know the exact number, but I do know that you are recognized as the #1 all-time winningest high school soccer coach in the state of Alabama. So I want to say congratulations. And if I'm wrong on this, then I'll tell you later who I'm going to attribute this to. But are you thinking about retiring?
I'm retiring.
Okay, well, I said I'm going to use it that way because I'd hate to say something wrong, but that's my understanding, Coach. And I know you've been at this business a long, long time. And before we actually get to talking about this year's group, tell people that may be seeing you for the first time your background when you got into coaching and especially how long you've been there at Vestavia.
Yeah, I graduated from college from Jacksonville State University in 1979. And this is the only place I've been.
And there aren't many coaches that can say that. And I guarantee you from being affiliated with Coach Anderson's football team, for this will be my 17th year, a lot of coaches stay at Vestavia a long time. So that tells me a couple of things. One, you like where you are. And two, it's got to be a great high school and a great program.
Yes, coaches get along great. You can't ask for a better place to work. Coach Anderson's fantastic.
Well, the one thing that I would ask you, Coach, and you've been in the business a long, long time, talk about the advancement, for lack of a better way to put it, in soccer since you got into coaching. Because I know for a long time it was a second-class sport. I don't mean this ugly. It's not a second-class sport anymore. You got outstanding athletes playing it, and outstanding persons such as yourself coaching it. But talk about that journey and how far you've seen the sport through the years increase from being a side sport to a main sport.
Yeah, and these players will vouch, for my saying here. We said this a few times that. We don't look for soccer players. We look for athletes that play soccer, and we're getting that now, and that makes a big difference. You're looking for a talented person who's an athlete who has the skill to play soccer. So that's what we've had the last several years. We've had good teams in the past. It's hard to compare to go that far back. I mean, It's been 36 years. I remember teams 20, 25 years ago that were excellent teams. I do believe but constantly getting better athletes, better soccer players in the last 10 years.
With that thought in mind too, Coach, you talk about better athletes. Now when you talk about better athletes, you're talking about athletes that their sport is soccer.
Right.
I mean, they
right.
play, and talk about how important club soccer has been to these youngsters through the years, and to people such as yourself that coach them in high school.
Right, and I've been blessed to be at a great school, which has a great club program. It's easy to win when you have good players, and so that the Vestavia club system and other club systems around. They do a great job, and so you're getting I'm being benefited from them.
And I think, Coach, you would probably agree with me when you're talking about you want athletes, students that are good athletes. You're looking for them as soccer players. That's boys and girls now, because the girls' game has really changed through the years as well, hasn't it?
Right.
And talk about, I think now, when it comes to high school athletics, baseball, football, basketball, soccer is being mentioned now. And so that's important, because now not only one of the things that used to be the most important driving forces for young athletes in high school were those sports we were talking about, was the chance to get scholarships to go to college on. Same thing applies to that soccer player now, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
And so you say you have the soccer, the club soccer and all. How as far as coaching, how does that affect you? Do you still look to be one thing? They get your age. The club soccer most of the time is a little younger, but now they're playing it later too, aren't they?
Oh, they're playing club soccer all the way through graduation. But when they come to me, every coach has a different system, different things they want to do, and so. Even though they're scattered out, very good athletes scattered out through different club systems, so we're getting them all together, and so they have to learn how to play with each other and whatever system a coach plays.
Well, I'd be telling you a story if I wanted to tell you I knew a bunch about soccer. I don't. I know a little about it, enough just to be dangerous, I guess. But the question that I would ask you, is there a certain style or a certain way that you want your team coached? And if it is, how much do you have to deviate from that, compromise with an athlete that might be outstanding in a different way than you would want him to be. Is it your way or the highway, or how often do you have to bend that?
That's a hard question. I don't know what to say on that question. I said every coach has a system what they want to do. You know, we're at Vestavia. We want high pressure. These players will tell you that we want high pressure. Other teams will high pressure at different parts of the field. It's just all about how to get the guys to say this, you know, to buy into what you're trying to do.
Well, and then this would get back to the meat of the subject, I guess. Yeah. And you can correct me if I've used the wrong terminology here, but are you a more aggressive, offensive-minded coach? Because I know there's defense in soccer. Mm. Or do you want your team, like you say, when you were talking about that a moment ago, the up-tempo, do you want that on both sides of the ball? Or talk about that.
Yeah, I want tempo on both sides of the ball. I'll take the Peter Brash approach. Defense comes first. And I think you got to start in your defense. Soccer's a game where you can control the game, but one mistake can cost you the game too. And so we really emphasize defense first. Well, Coach, the time really gets away with us. One last question I want to ask you, because I know this is important in your career as well. I say behind every good coach, there's a good coach's wife. Tell me about it takes a special lady to be a coach's wife, doesn't it? Yeah, Janice is fantastic. When I come after a game, she'll tell me what she thinks, and she'll say, "You need to do this, you need to do that." I'll say, "Thank you, assistant coach." So I call her my assistant coach. Well, I tell you what, you say that lovingly. Yeah. but Coach, another outstanding season. Yeah. And is your team peaking at the right time, you hope? I hope so. Playing your best soccer, maybe a championships around the road. Okay. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to visit a couple of youngsters very instrumental in the success Vestavia's had thus far.
The community features a world-class resort and spa, the amazing Robert Trent Jones Trail Golf Course, miles of historic trails, and the whole family loves the pool at Ross Park. No, are we gonna have to watch your vacation slides all night?
This was supposed to be a party.
Well, this isn't my vacation. I live here.
Ooh.
The next time you need electrical work, whether it be commercial or residential, you need to call Huffman Electrical Contractors, a company that's been in business for over 35 years. They've served clients not only locally in the Birmingham area and all over the state, but have clients outside the state of Alabama as well. Whether it's a new building or remodeling an older building or home, they can handle the job for you. Once again, that's Huffman Electrical Contractors. The number to call is 205-661-5005. That's 205-661-5005. Where at Huffman Electrical Contractors, a satisfied customer is always their #1 objective.
Good driver discount, multi-car discount, good student discount. Helping you save money on car insurance is just part of the service you get from State Farm agent Jack Traffinstead. Whether an accident or a simple question, Jack and his staff get you the help you need. And that's the value only a State Farm agent can provide. Call Jack Traffinstead today. 40 million drivers already know nobody gives more discounts to more drivers than State Farm. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
And folks, welcome back. We've got a couple of outstanding young men that have played a very integral part in the very successful season that the Vestavia boys soccer team has had so far this year. They're #2 in the state. I know they're looking for that #1 ranking, and guys, the playoffs are just around the corner, right? So what we'll start with, we've got seniors Washington Young, and you're a midfielder.
Yes, sir.
And then Parker Satterfield, a senior defender and forward.
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, I'll ask you the same thing I asked the coach, and you may have a better answer for me than he did. You've had a very good season thus far. It's really good. Do you feel like you guys are peaking at the right time? Because what, is the playoffs start next week?
Yes, sir. They start next Tuesday, so a week from tomorrow.
All right, now, getting ready for that. First of all, Watterson, tell me what, being a senior, what your personal goals was going into this year and what your goals for this team was.
I mean, I think we go into every season so far that I've been, with the team just looking to, obviously to win state, but, more importantly, come together as a group and just kind of, I think this year we've really done a great job of just being a family and just everybody really being cohesive and just really becoming really good friends. And I think that's really, helped us as our team to kind of, we're trying to, still come together and be as good as possible. But I think, that's going to be the most important thing in winning the state this year.
Well, I tell you what, Parker, Lude expand on what he was just talking about, what Watterson was just talking about. There's a thing in sports, and it applies to soccer just like anything else, and it's called team chemistry.
Yes, sir.
Now, the more you like one another, the better you play together, work out together, the better you can become. But that chemistry can work in an opposite way if you guys, don't have the same goals or aren't good buddies. Talk about the team chemistry as far as you're concerned.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a lot of communication out there on the field. So, as long as we're getting along, talking, we're lifting each other up, it's the goal. We're going to go for state. Yes, sir.
Well, now I tell you what, I don't know if you guys are aware of it. So if you're not, I'll tell you. I do the play-by-play for the football team. Been doing it, this will be my 17th season. Now, our biggest rival is Hoover football.
Yes, sir.
Supposedly. Now, for the soccer team, who is y'all's biggest rival?
I mean, it's tough to pin it down to one team. Soccer's kind of a little bit different than football, I'd say, because you got so many good teams. We have Hoover, who's really good. So, and obviously football is their rival. So, we kind of, piggyback on the football team and being rivals with them. But then Oak Mountain is just historically good at soccer, and they've beaten us a couple times before. So, we are rivals with them. And then Mountain Brook's in our area, so we're obviously rivals with them too. And just, really, I'd say whoever's on the field with us will, becomes our rival as soon as we step on the field.
Well, that sounds like it's sort of a gimpy answer, but I think you're right on it for the simple reason, and Parker, I'll let you expand on this. Y'all have 5 or 6 teams in y'all's area, right over the mountain area, that are ranked in the top 10 in boys and girls soccer. So, it's a big sport. And so from that standpoint, is there any personal rival or personally a team you enjoy playing against more than another one?
Well, we play club with a lot of the same kids that are on schools like from all the over the mountain areas. So Oak Mountain has a lot of the kids that are on me and Watterson's club team. Hoover has a couple of kids. So every time we're playing the other teams, it's like we're playing our club team, basically.
Well, you know what, and I talk to guys about this in football, baseball, basketball. Soccer, I think, is, from judging what you guys are saying, is the same way. The only difference in you and, say, the Oak Mountain, the Mountain Brooks, and the Hoover is the color of the jersey you put on. Because y'all know a lot of the guys. Y'all maybe go to church with some of the guys. You just never know. And on the field, competitive, yeah, you want to beat them, right? But off the field, you're still friends. And I think that's important for everybody to understand. It's not, oh, I hate that team or I hate that guy. That's not the way it is at all, is it? All right, now this, I know football a little bit better than soccer, so that's where I'm going to depend on you guys. And I was talking to Coach about it just a little bit. Being a midfielder, I know that's an offensive guy, isn't it? You're working to get the ball to the scorers. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Defense comes first, though. So
yeah, well, I've heard that so long, and then the guy will say, yeah, you don't know what you're talking about. The coach says, yeah, that's right. And I know what he means with that reference, Coach Brash. If the other team's not scoring, y'all are in every game, right?
That's right.
So I understand that. But then, having said that, defense is number one. We still got to score, right?
Yes, sir.
So now your job, who is it that does the scoring? Is the forwards? Or do they score more?
Forwards do a lot of scoring, yes, sir.
Now you're defensive and a forward, a defender and a forward.
Yes, sir.
Which one do you like the most?
Whatever Coach Grabman puts me at, it's what I'm going to play.
I'm telling you. You tell me these Vestavia kids couldn't be good politicians. Now, I'm telling you, skirting around the answer. Whatever the coach needs, whether it's a stop or a score, he's going to call on you, isn't he?
Yes, sir, that's right.
Okay. All right. Now, I've always talked to people about soccer being a reaction sport because it's like your offense and defense can change in one kick, just from where the ball goes. So talk about that. On the offensive side, do you have, and I know it's not a set plays as we do in football, but you still have things you're trying to accomplish. Talk about that from the offensive side just a little bit.
Yes, sir. I mean, when we have the ball and we're going forward, on offense, we have have things we practice, obviously. So those things that we always have them back of our mind. Obviously, we're creating our own opportunities in what we do, but it's always you got 1-2s and overlaps and that kind of thing that we like to practice, and those are easy things to practice. But I mean and you said it was a reactive sport, but also you got to be able to anticipate your teammates, and so that's another thing with the team chemistry. You can anticipate a lot easier when you know what your teammate might be doing. So that's kind of easy to anticipate, not just be reactive to what they're doing. You got to be able to anticipate before they get the ball.
And Parker, the thing about that, you have to transform from offense to defense in just a single kick. It's not like you're punting off to somebody or you're playing defense 4 downs. This can happen on every play, right?
Yes, sir. And a lot of it is actually set plays. We practice a lot of stuff from free kicks, throw-ins, and we've gotten a lot of success from that, and that's one of Coach Grammer's specialties. So.
Well, but here's one of the things about it, too, is you're going to have that defense against you, and what you practice, they can take it away in a split second, and then that's where you've got to be trying to think a move ahead, I guess, if that makes any kind of sense. All right, guys, now I've gotten the idea from talking to y'all and the coach saying something that you're pretty good athletes on the field, so we've taken care of that. The team is peaking at the right time, and we're ready for the playoffs, right? All right, now here's the thing I know. I know you're not on that soccer field 24/7. So here's what I want to know. We're going to get personal a little bit. And I know, because I was talking to some baseball players just before you guys, and I wonder if soccer players have superstitions, or do you guys, now I met y'all for the first time tonight, is there something about y'all, if y'all told me this, such as you sing in the shower or you write poetry, if there was something that people don't generally know about you that you could tell me about yourself, what would that one thing be? And of course, I hate to do this, Watterson, we're going to start with you.
You're going to start with me? I mean, one thing that people don't really know about me, I mean, that's tough. I don't even know. I mean, I got 2 dogs. And I love playing with my dogs. I got a little pug that I love, so that's probably the most, things people don't know about me the most, I'd say. My 2 little dogs.
All right, well, let me ask you this question. And we found out, what's your dog's name?
Mabel and Ruby.
Oh, boy, Mabel and Ruby, that's a pair now. All right, now, but what about the fact that if I said, do you like shooting pool? Or do you like ping pong?
Yeah, I mean,
it's the dog. It's still the dog.
It's still. I mean, I just don't. We don't have any of that around my house. Honestly, I hate to say this, but I mean, me and my family, because my sister just went off to college last year, we sit around. We watch a lot of soccer. I mean, that's our hobby kind of thing, just watching soccer.
Nothing wrong with that. Let me tell you. How about you, Parker?
There's nothing like watching a movie with your mom, just sitting on the couch watching some good old Netflix.
Oh, my goodness. Well, there ain't nothing wrong with that if you're not playing with the dogs watching the movies.
Yes, sir.
But, okay, well, there's nothing wrong with that. Well, guys, if you had preferred to play anybody in a championship game, who would you think you might end up seeing there? If it was Vestavia against who?
I'd say if anyone deserves it this year, Oak Mountain, Hoover, Bob Jones.
Okay, now other than Bob Jones, and that's the only one that we were talking about a while ago, ranked #1. Then there's a lot of Birmingham schools, in those other positions. So there's an awfully good chance if you guys are playing your best soccer now that you could end up in the finals, and that wouldn't hurt y'all's feelings at all, would it?
Yes, sir.
So if it would be there's somebody around here or somebody there, you're playing your best soccer right now. When you get off to school, both of you are seniors. So do you know where you're going to school?
I do. I'm going to the University of Louisville.
Louisville?
Yes,
and
sir.
you're going to try play soccer there?
I'm playing soccer there, yes, sir.
Okay, how about you, Parker?
I'm going to Auburn. Yes, sir. I'm ending my soccer days. Maybe just some intramural, but
really?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'll pray for you if you're going to Auburn. Now, if you was going to Alabama, I wouldn't have to pray.
Yes,
I'm just kidding. Well, that's great. What do you hope to do one day?
Well, I'm majoring in engineering, so hopefully I have a future in that.
Well, great school to do that. And what do you think you might like to do?
I'm going to major in sports administration, so I'm going to try and use that, see where that takes me.
Reckon See that gentleman sitting over there, reckon y'all might like to be a coach one day?
Maybe one day if it comes back around to it, we'll see.
Okay. Well, I tell you what, guys, one of the last questions I'm going to ask. To this point in your young lives, who's been the most inspirational person or persons?
Coach Grammer's been up there. He really has been an inspiration. He's taught us how to be men on and off the field. You know, he's a good guy, and he's taught me a lot.
Good. How about you?
I agree, Coach. And then, I mean, I got to say my dad. My dad's really, you know, he's been there for me through it all. So he's been, you know, really helps me.
Well, I tell you what, guys, y'all have had a great season thus far. You're playing really good soccer right now. Good luck in the playoffs, okay?
Yes, Thank you.
Bring home a state title. What a way to end the career.
Yes, sir.
Folks, same time, same place. Till next week. You know what the snapper always says, bicycle.